Financial freedom has different meanings for different people. Today, I want to share my personal journey and how my definition of financial freedom has evolved throughout my career in medicine. I'll explain why I've chosen to focus on building income streams rather than just accumulating savings. When I first started thinking about financial freedom, I focused on the traditional approach. Most of you are probably familiar with this. You enroll in your employer-sponsored retirement plan, you save up a big nest egg, and then once you finally hit that age of retirement, you follow the 4% withdrawal rule and hope that that will last you throughout your full retirement timeline. With my personal experience though, I found that this wouldn't necessarily fit my goals. For example, market swings make me nervous, especially if I'm going to have to rely on a portfolio that I'm withdrawing from to fund my lifestyle. What if my withdrawals happen to correspond with a major market downturn that lasts for several years? Also, what if I don't want to have to wait until I'm 59 and a half years old to start accessing that money to finance my lifestyle? I'd rather have the access to the money today in forms of streams of income that I can rely on into the future. This is what led me to start exploring other options that might be available beyond the typical mainstream approach. Let me share how I think about the different types of income. I have both active income and my passive income. On the active side, that's my medical practice. It's time intensive and location dependent. There's not that much flexibility. I have to physically go to the office and see patients. And when I'm not there seeing patients, I'm not making any money. On the passive side, this includes my investment income. Essentially, I don't need to directly trade my time for these assets to produce cash flow. This includes the notes that I've purchased, the properties that I own, and the stock and option strategies that I will implement in my portfolio. Well, yes, there is a time component where I need to do my research and due diligence. I'm not directly trading my time for money. Plus, I'm not stuck in a single location where I have to go to a physical office to produce this cash flow. So why does this approach work for me? Well, focusing on income-producing assets has given me a lot of options that I didn't have before. I have a lot of flexibility with the choices I can make in the future regarding my medical career. I can stay in a full-time job as long as I would like, or I could always decide to cut back my hours in the future. This also means that I can spend more time with my family, I can spend more time doing my hobbies, and I can spend more time with friends. This also means that in the future I can have more geographic flexibility. Maybe I want to be able to travel more frequently and not be tied to one location. Also, having a choice prevents me from feeling like I am trapped in the rat race. It allows me to live my life on my terms, which to me is invaluable. To wrap up this conversation, I think it's important to highlight that there is not a one-size-fits-all approach to investing or to even achieving financial freedom. What really matters is that you need to be able to cover your monthly expenses with the investment income that your assets are producing. I've outlined that my approach is a mixture of predominantly mortgage note investments, real estate investments, and a little bit of stocks thrown in the mix as well. However, I think it's really important to figure out which asset class really resonates with you or fits your risk profile. So I think that's one of the most important things that you could figure out for yourself before you get too far down the pathway of an investment strategy. Thank you for tuning in to this episode today. If you thought that there was value in this content, please subscribe to the podcast for more content like this in the future. Please also consider joining our private Facebook group that I'll have linked in the show notes, where you can dive deeper with like-minded individuals about investment philosophies and concepts and strategies. It's really my hope that we can build a community of like-minded individuals where we can learn from one another and grow together as we travel along our investing journeys.